Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit. I'm Jeanette Byro. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler, and today we're going to dive into messages from Spirit, no cards, just tuning in through my natural skills, I guess we could say. I'm just going to fix this one here because it's falling off. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in, see who's here, and we'll get on with the message, so just hold on. Okay, this is the three guides of the light. And okay, fair. They're showing me a couple of things. First thing they're showing me is this imagery of like being underneath a road, which sounds funny, but it's as if like you were laying under a glass panel and there's cars and things driving on top of you and you're looking from underneath. And so when I asked them, why are you showing me that? They said, today, for many of you, may be a day where you're being given a flipped perspective of something, to see either the underbelly of something, to see behind the scenes of something, to see another perspective or another angle of something. It's shifting your perspective. They're showing me even like that idea of sometimes, when you're standing in the valley versus when you're standing on the mountaintop, totally different perspective. They're saying today really needs a shift in perspective in order for you to gain clarity and see kind of what's on the horizon. You have to see it from a new lens, a new light. The things that you feel like you're coming to a head against or like hitting a brick wall against, they're saying they're going to give you a flipped perspective of it. And it's not for you to panic or get stressed about or angry or resist the perspective, but rather take it in. When you get that flipped perspective, totally take it in and gain everything you can. Pull as much intel from that perspective as you can, because it's going to help reset when you get flipped back the right way. And this can happen in a lot of different ways. So for some, it could be this big feeling of a totally changed perspective, right? But it could also be in little things, right? Maybe, for example, maybe there's a judgment you hold on something, right? Like, I don't know why people get so mad when they have to change their own tire, right? Say someone's on the side of the road and they're mad and they're changing their tire, and someone's like, they just have to change their tire, it's not a big deal. But then maybe you're put in a position where you're on the side of the road and you have to change your own tire, and it's not the act of changing the tire that's got you frustrated, but you're late. You're late to something really important. You're late to pick up your kid somewhere. It's the most inopportune time. And that flipped perspective of you being the one having to change your tire gives you the awareness that, the person's not actually so mad about the tire itself. It's that it's stalling them from getting to where they need to go. And then that flip perspective gives us more clarity or more compassion or more awareness. It's like that sort of idea, right? So it's giving a flipped perspective. That's one part of the message. The next part is they're showing me this crow. It's like a crow, but it looks kind of like a raven. Again, to me, they're very, very similar messages and symbolisms. It's messages from the cosmos. Messengers of change is how I often see crows and ravens. This one I'm being shown wishes fulfilled. So with this flipped perspective we were talking about, the awareness that comes from it allows you to have your wishes fulfilled, right? Whether it puts you on a better path of awareness, whether it allows spirit to interact better, whether it just opens up the energetic pathways. Again, I feel like it's these like energetic pathways are cleared and then you're right in line. Kind of like when you, when you're on a roller coaster and you're on the track, so you're not going to veer off track because you're literally on the tracks. You're in line, right? It's that idea. This is helping to bring that wish fulfillment. And there's this old legend about the ivory wish fulfilling crow. And it's this white crow that brings these wishes, right? That fulfills the wishes. And that's like the energy that I'm getting from it. So divine alignments of wishes fulfilled is also what's on the horizon today. But again, it really pertains to that flip perspective. There's something more here too. Hold on. Interesting. Okay. now I said to them, I'm like, is this just for a select few? And they're like, take it how it was given. So I'm just going to take it and share it how it was given. They then said that notice how religion and your perspectives of religion play into this experience that they're talking about today. And it makes me feel like there are certain judgments still that are in the back of our minds. I mean, I think many of you that are watching my content are very progressive in your thought, regardless of what religious sect you follow, whether it's just spiritual, whatever you call it. I think most people that are following my content are very open-minded, right? But they're saying, notice what religious doctrines or religious judgments are still playing in the back of your consciousness, creating judgments or limitations in the way in which you perceive things. So there's a tie into I want to say old religious upbringing or old religious ways of being. And that could be a very loose way or a very rigid way. But again, there's something of that awareness. And I want to share that I once had the opportunity to speak with the energy of Jesus. I've had a couple opportunities, and it's so profound. And I remember that he showed me that when I asked about religions, and I was like, what is the deal with religions? And is there one right one? And he said, all roads lead to the same source. And he showed it to me like water slides. You know when you go to a water park and there's all these water slides in one main pool? It doesn't matter which slide you pick, you're going to reach that main pool. And everybody swims in that main pool. And he said, that's how we can see religion. Some are very twisty slides, some are very direct slides, but they all lead to the main pool. So it's about what your soul needs in your journey in terms of awareness, challenge, struggle, upbringing, guidance, whatever it is. Religions do play a part in that, but it all leads to the same pool. And that same pool on the other side is the frequency of love. And truly, that is what the connection is to the divine. And so it's just interesting to notice what dogma type patterns or ways of thinking or narratives are playing in the back of your mind that maybe you're not noticing. And what happens is these experiences that I'm talking about today bring up that awareness for you to be like, oh, I didn't realize I had that judgment. That was just this dormant subconscious judgment. And now that you recognize it, then you're free of it. You can shift it, you can change it. Or maybe it's a judgment that, you can really root into because it's helping you on your path. But it's a very reflective energy today. So lots of pondering and reflecting is in the air today. So something to be said for that. So I'll leave that with all of you. I do also want to invite you to Cosmic Consciousness tonight. It's going to be a great night. We're talking about the eclipse. We're talking about some of the history, a little bit of science as always. I like to bring in some tangible pieces, and then lots on the ancient understandings and spirit messages, channeled messages, and a meditation so that you can kind of bring in your own understandings of it. So I really hope you can join. You can sign up at avalonspirit.com under Cosmic Consciousness, and I hope to see you there.